Hello, everybody. Hi, my name's Angela, and I am a professional counselor and coach, and I'm really excited to be starting this new podcast for everybody. And this is going to be the #1 episode. So bear with us. I'm winging it on here because I thought it's going to be more fun that way. And so today I have brought a special, super special guest that I'm really excited to introduce, Grace Alfara. And she's someone who's been such an inspiration to me. We have a long history of friendship over the years, long and far, from being close to being far away, but we've kept in contact because we just have a unique bond together. And I can't wait for you all to hear from her and for her to be able to share all about her life going forward right now, her new business that she is getting into, and a business that she's been working on for a while and has written multiple books. She does coaching and so many other things, but I'm going to let her talk about her amazing quantum consciousness coaching and other exciting things that she's got in the works for this year, for 2022. And so thank you so much for being here, Grace. I'm excited to have you. And I would love if you would just share a little bit about yourself before we get started.
Wow, thank you, Angela, and I'm really thankful for being here and for inviting me to your podcast. This is exciting. I'm excited. And yeah, so a little bit about me. Yes, my name is Grace, and I grew up in the Philippines. Came to Africa when I was 10. I lived there for 12 years, and I met my love of my life there, and we got married there for we've been married for 20 years, and now I'm a single mom. Life happens in between. To fast forward, here I am rebuilding my new business, and which I couldn't do it before, but I restructured my life, personal things that has happened in my life, very extreme, and but that helped me shape who I am today. I'm not I don't have any regrets about it, and also helped me to motivate myself, to position myself, how to even finding my I am, and that led me to write my books, and then to coaching, how to help people. And before I start helping especially parents who are working so hard like myself too, and single people, and yeah, it just led me to that because I went through it, and it wasn't easy, as you know. It was really tough, and because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Yes, and that's another reason I wanted Grace to speak first, because she is someone, that I am just so big on. My main focus in life is helping women reinvent themselves and refocus. And I really know that the two of us have completely reinvented our life and started over. And that means so much to have her here, because she is somebody who truly, like how I feel, has scraped myself off of the mat in the doorway and started again and started from zero. And
Yeah.
so that's why it's just so exciting to have you.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And raising kids, I have 4 kids, and you have kids too, and now they're older, they're teenagers now, they're almost graduating. And being a mom, and now single mom, and it's just having that, responsibility as a mother. It actually taught me how to position myself more and how to trust myself. Was the big one, is trusting my own decision, right? Like how to trust myself financially, like career wise, and emotionally, psychologically. If I even have the mental excuse me, mental toughness to even want to know, to get to know who I am. Am I afraid of my own truth? Am I afraid of my own life?
Am I afraid of my own truth? That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And trusting yourself when you hear it. Do you believe it?
Yeah,
What,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And not only believe it, but it's actually how to like starting to like unwrapping that, and when I meant by unwrapping the hidden gifts within us, our truth is like, okay, this is my truth now. How do I strategize how to wear it? Like it's like wearing a brand new clothes. Now how do I really want to wear it? But how do I feel like when I wear it? Like how do I look like? How do I feel like? Do I feel confident? Do I feel confident with my truth? Right? Do I trust my own truth? Do I trust like just wearing brand new clothes that you bought? Did you even trust buying that clothes is actually makes you happy? You know, yeah. So it's just that's just a metaphor, but it's just an example of finding your own truth and live your truth and how to embody it. The challenging part was for me is how to embody my own truth, meaning how to wear it and be it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's exciting. Okay, so I have a few questions for you. So hopefully
Okay.
we'll get to it. And okay, ready? So,
Yes, ma'am.
what is your big why for what you're doing now? And tell us exactly what you actually are doing so that we can understand more about you and your business and what you have to offer.
That's great. That's really, really great questions. It's really deep too. And so, what is my biggest why I'm doing what I'm doing? My biggest why is for me is is to set myself free from any limiting belief. Is yeah, just mainly to set myself free so that I can set an example to my own kids as well. So I'm doing it for me so that I can also give my kids a permission that they can do it for themselves. And that's the biggest reason why. And that way I'm also making a cause and effect or a ripple effect to empower others, regardless of their gender or status quo. You know, I'm setting an example to the best I know now in this season because we don't stop learning. We keep learning from one season to the other. So that's my biggest reason why. It's just and the other reason is I'm just tired of suffering. I'm just tired of it. That is the behind core of why I want to set myself free from having the limiting belief is because I'm tired and tired of being tired of not knowing this, or did someone give me a wrong information that I end up living a lie in any, like in relationships or in my career or finances, especially finances, right? Like we were taught in school how to even about save money or invest money, how to spend
Yeah.
wisely. That's just an example when it comes to business, because we were just taught like basics, you know. And yeah, so yeah, I'm just tired of that. So what, and that leads to the next questions that you have is what.
What exactly, what was that was an awesome big why. And I love that about being tired, because a lot of the women that I support, that's that same feeling of just stuckness and tired of being tired. And you took that leap and step to, you know what, I'm done with this. I have big goals and dreams, and I'm going to take little baby steps towards them. And that's wonderful. But what is the now, so tell us what you're actually doing now to as part of that came from that.
So from that, it grew into the woman that I'm becoming. And that woman that I am becoming is led me to this coaching business, and that specialize into helping women who are seeking their own truth, but without even them having the clarity, because they're finding it hard to have clarity. What is my truth? Why am I afraid of my truth? Is it okay to find my own truth and talk about my truth, not someone else's truth? Am I living someone else's truth? Am I learning? How do I trust myself? So people who are finding it hard to transition to how to trust their own ability to make big decisions in their life
Oh,
and
I love that, that
be
you're
that.
helping them
Yeah,
navigate that path.
yeah. And to just have find that clarity, it's just like a fingerprint, right? Everybody is different. Your fingerprint is different than mine. So that's when my job comes in as a coach, is to help you be okay with your own blueprint, which is your
Mm,
I am. So I'm helping people how to be okay with their own I am. Even if we live in these dark times or challenging times, like when even when the darkness shines so bright, my specialty is to help people not to lose themselves while they're finding themselves in different aspects of life. It's the point is how to find yourself without losing yourself in the things that you we are learning in this world, even though it's tough, but it's worth it. But how to be okay with that worth it is also helping them to give themselves permission that you know what you we need to not only grow. I don't like the word say grow up, more like own up. Learn to own up our own story, and be okay with that. It's not about right
mhm.
or wrong. It's about what do you prefer in your life, what the real that is your own reality, not someone else's
Mhm.
reality. But how can you partner with someone when it comes to relationship, business wise, or when it comes to marriage as well? Who do you partner with?
Yeah, I
Are you
love that.
aligned,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. There's something to be said about when you come to the point in life where you realize that a lot of things have went on, and all of a sudden you realize that you have to take 100% responsibility for your own life and make a decision from there. And so that's pretty powerful. So does your book, the I Am, I don't
Oh
know if you
yeah.
have, I don't know if you happen to have it, if you could flash it for us or
All right, right
show
here.
us. Yeah, there you go. So
Right.
is that, so I know that she has that available on Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah, on Amazon or Hay House.
Okay.
And yeah, just mainly the easiest way to find is Amazon. And then it is the I wrote this book like over 10 years ago, like say 15 years ago, but I grew over time. So as I grew, I started editing it, re-editing it. And the point of this is helping mainly women, but men too. I guess regardless age, gender, is finding your I am in your childhood. Who are you in your when you were a child? Do you know your I am? Like, so my chapters are who am I as a child? Who am I? Who am I as a woman? Who am I
Mm,
as a wife? Who am I as a mother? Because I'm not a grandma yet, so I didn't go that far. So, but anyway, my grandma is a mother too, right?
yeah.
So asking yourself the question of who am I is the hardest question that people are, including myself, finding it hard to answer that question because it is, again, going back to our own truth. Are we afraid of our I am?
Mm,
So I specialize mainly in emotional intelligence and the adaptability intelligence with resilience and the consciousness that brings that is finding their own I am. That's why I work on my I am because when I went through this, when I was a child, when I was a wife at the time, and then I'm still a mother. We will
mhm.
always be a mother. That doesn't go away. And then when I was a younger woman, yeah, just finding your I am and how to be okay with your I am.
I
And
love
that
that.
grows over time too. It never stops. You will be a
Mhm.
different I am the next season of your life, you know? Yeah. So, and my other book is also like this one is from vision to mission, you
Mm.
know, and that's my previous name before before marriage. So, and then I had another book here that is called Empower Yourself to Lead Your Life and Others. So before I wrote those books, I actually had to live it so that I can understand how to explain to people how to discover their own blueprint and how to lead their emotions and how to be stable in that, and even though you're going through dark times in your life, is mainly finding, if once you find your I am, your which is your blueprint in every layers of your life. And the responsibilities that we have are the being a mom, or being a parent, being a friend, being a wife, being a, there's still that child in us. You know, that's a Russian doll, Angela. That there's a child in there. There's a mad woman in there. There's
Oh
a,
yeah, yeah.
so this is like that is the one that is like that this book is about. It's finding your I am in every layers as you.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. That's wonderful. So, what is one piece of advice that you would give someone who was searching to figure out their purpose or their I am or figure out their blueprint of who they are right now and they're just starting out?
My piece of advice is learn to start trusting yourself now. Don't wait till you get ready. You are, because you will never get ready. You know.
And if I said, Grace, though, how do I learn to trust myself? What would you tell me?
How to learn to trust yourself?
Mhm.
Just do, just try, just do. And how does that look like when it comes to living your life? Is try anything that makes you grow. Like for example, upgrade your skills. Like what does that look like? It means like learn something, go take a course, or learn how, like have new activities like a hobby or something like that. For me, I started taking a course in psychology. I upgraded my skills. So that's how I start learning myself. So I learned a new language, and now I'm learning about financial education. Do I trust myself in that? So how do I know I trust myself in it? Jump into it. You know, like just like learning how to drive, you know. So learning how to drive, you just go try and start doing it. Yeah.
You just start doing it.
Just start doing. Just do it.
Maybe just doing it and seeing what happens and going from there.
Yeah, because once you do it, you become the being that you become that character that will eventually develop your character, right? Like you know, and then it becomes second nature to you.
And I think there's one little aspect about listening for the feelings and listening for what you truly want. And when you say trusting yourself, you are, when you're so busy and so overwhelmed all the time or stressed out or dealing with a lot of stuff in your life, it's hard to hear the things and you just kind of float around life. And sometimes when you're listening, you can hear what you really want, what your heart's desire is, and then do what you said by just trust that instinct and that intuition and go from there and try.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, because that is the most important thing, is learning to trust your intuition. And that's another skill to develop. It's not only a skill, but it's actually our gift within us. Like that's why trust is the window to discover your I am. And yeah, it's just a window, it's just a portal. And but that's also an essence of who you are, is trust, is listening within yourself, because within yourself all the answer is in there. It's
I
within
love that.
you,
Yeah.
you know. Like yeah, so the answer is all
If
within.
you're willing to hear it, all the answers are in there. You're so right.
Yeah. As because the hardest part that people find it hard is to be still, right? Just like you said, listen to intuition, but what does the intuition sound like? You know?
And it's hard to hear when you're distracted and going through the motions of life, and you want all the answers, but you're not willing to stop and listen just for a few minutes. And
that's
also there's that inkling in your mind where you truly already know what you really want, but do you trust, like you said, do you trust to take the leap? And it's hard. It's hard.
Yes.
When you know it's something big and you are ignoring it, and you push it to the back burner long enough where it finally, the crock pot lid blows off and you have no choice but to deal with it. Oh man. Okay. So my next question for you is, I would love for you to tell me about some influential person or people in your life and how they have impacted you to be where you are today?
Oh, wow. It started in 2008.
Mm.
I don't know if anybody in your audience here knows him, but it's through his books. His name is Anthony Robbins.
Oh,
Yeah, so Anthony Robbins, I kind of discovered him through online, and I started like, who is this guy? Like, I could understand what he's talking about. Like, that's what I seek for. Like, so I kept listening to him, and I even bought his book, and his book is like my Bible now, like became my Bible. That completely changed my life forever. And then after that is actually Oprah, and
mm.
was the next person, and then it just went on and on and on. I had different mentors. I can't even, you know, mention their names. And then when it comes to like local people, friends around, and you being one of them,
Me?
like, yes.
Oh, wow. That's an
Yeah, so
honor.
getting to know you too, I was like, wow, she can do this, she can do that. Like, I want to be that. Like,
Oh,
how does she run a business and look after the kids, and then your hobby farm at the time? It's like you make it look so easy, and that inspired me. It's like a light bulb in my head too. So you are actually one of my, my mentor without even you knowing
oh,
it. So I just took that.
that's
I
so
took it
sweet.
seriously as like, what, I'm gonna do something about my life. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, thanks, Grace. That's so special. That's awesome. And I have some Tony Robbins books here myself,
Oh, you do. Yeah.
and I don't have any Oprah books, but I used to back when everything was about magazines before, you know, stuff came more online and stuff. I used to get her magazines all the time and be so excited. But yeah. Okay. And so um, my last question for you is, so what significant truth have you discovered about yourself as you've gotten older that is actually impacting the direction that you're actually taking right now in life?
Oh,
Because there's
that's
something to be said for as we get older. I don't want to say older, but maybe wiser or both, because it's true. You learn more about yourself. You've learned to trust yourself. You've at least took some of those little inklings and followed them or tried to follow them and have got you where you are today. So what significant truth have you discovered about yourself that's impacting the direction you're going now?
wow. I love that deep, deep question. Woo!
Yeah, it's a little deep, but I thought, yeah,
You're so deep.
I
I
have to
love
ask
you.
it.
So yes, you're putting me in the spot here. I love it. Yeah. So the deepest truth would be three elements, which is in the book of the I Am. The I Am book that I wrote. So the deepest truth would be that made me the woman I am today is the essence that I have, that I'm becoming. And the essence would be I am truth, I am love, I am peace.
Ooh, essence, that's a powerful
Yeah,
word.
yeah. So those three essence, or you can say purity, doesn't mean you're not making any mistakes. Purity means you're craving for inner peace. That's
Mm,
what purity means. Those essences. Yeah, I those are the biggest truth that I have discovered about myself. And I found out too that this is not just me, and this is for all human beings if they have it themselves too, if they only not scared of opening up their own truth. But everybody's truth is different, everybody's the way they love is different, and everybody's inner peace is different. So that's their blueprint, and that this is my blueprint, how I went through my own life without losing myself, thank God. But I found myself instead of who my I am, more like it. I found my I am, and that is the truth, my own truth, and enjoying living my own truth, enjoying how to love better without measures. And I'm
mm,
excited about that. And then how to continue how to have inner peace. And that also two things with inner peace is how to balance being, how to empathize and how to set boundaries. Because you can't always empathize, but you need to set boundaries in order to be effective, in order to have that inner peace within us.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. You have to have some boundaries around.
Yeah. That's
even
another good topic to talk about.
yeah. I know. We have a journaling session coming up all about boundaries, so that'll be exciting.
Oh, I'm a boundary maker, more like empathizing. To be honest.
Well, that's amazing because most of us need to be boundary makers and we're not.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be evil, like strict things, but just those little things about it, like say simple boundary, like what you were referring to, what you spoke about would probably be more about your time and valuing your time more. And because now as we get older, you do honestly realize, like, you guys that are really young, you're gonna, the days last long, but they sure are short now for us as we get older, because I don't know how, it just feels different, but things are more important. Like if you have something on your plate that you really desire to get accomplished, you feel that clock ticking, and so you're either going to ignore it and not trust your intuition, like we spoke about, or you're going to get it done, because you only have so much time. And if you're like one of us two girls, you have so many ideas. You better put something into action or nothing's going to happen, because you can't get all these ideas out. You have to pick and choose what priorities are.
Yes, that is so true, because by the end of the day, it's all about discovering your weaknesses and strength, your values and purpose in life. And yeah, how to trust all of that, that is you, like, yeah, it's a journey, to be honest with you. It's a journey to rediscover. That's why I look at life now so differently. Like, ooh, when it comes challenging time, like, ooh, a challenge, yay, opportunity to grow. What is the lesson here? But at the same time, it sucks. You feel sad because that's our human nature. But our spirits say that, yeah, it represents growth, and growth loves challenges.
I love that. If we could take anything away, growth loves challenges.
Yeah.
Yes, because you can't help to grow, because there's no failure. It's just learning.
Yes, everything is learning. Because our human world is made out of contrast and clarity. And then I always tell my client, like, what's your problem? So they tell me their contrast. So I said, do you know your clarity is the opposite of that? Then, but like, oh, I didn't know that. But how do I get to bridge the gap? That's when I come in to teach them how to bridge the gap. But you go through the process of healing to bridge that gap. That you're gonna be okay with your darkness, your shadow, and your light. People think the shadow is all negative, and like, no, you're gonna have to use your light to shine on your shadow, so that you get to know what the shadow shape like, and that's your truth, and that's your love, and that's your inner peace, things like that. And we're gonna go deeper and deeper in that as we start working with them, and they start to enjoy getting to know themselves. And some of my clients like, wow, I'm a piece of work. Same with me, I'm a piece of work, but yeah, how are you gonna be okay looking at your life when your 7 aspects of life, which is your finances, career, your mental toughness, and then your relationship and your energy level, your spiritual growth, and so on and so forth, right? Like, and then you look at you like, oh, I haven't really spent the time on this, on that, on this, and that. So that's why we have 100 years or a little bit more to spend our life to discover who we are, or rediscover. The hardest part is unlearning what we have been conditioned.
Yes, unlearning all the things that we've taken on by default, almost, of other people's opinions, and how we should live life, and how everything should look, and how happiness should feel and look, and all these things that we need to shed and figure out the who I am.
Yes. If my life was a movie, I would call it one word: unlearn.
Yes, yeah. Yes, that's so important. Yeah. So Grace, thank you so much for being part of my new podcast. I appreciate you so much. You're so close to my heart and such a good, deep, true friend to me. Tell everybody where they can find you on Facebook and Instagram and for your coaching and different things to be able to follow you.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Really enjoyed this, and congratulations on this new podcast. And I'm sure we're gonna grow and grow more. And people can find me on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Yeah, I'm in TikTok.
Oh wow, I haven't entered that realm yet.
So it's called it's the same thing with my website, the same name, gracethroughjourney.com.
So Grace Through Journey. Find Grace at Grace Through Journey.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the easier way to remember it.
Yeah, Grace Through Journey. Yeah.
Great. And you guys can always find me at insightfulself.com and Insightful Self on Instagram and Facebook as well. And I'm just so pleased to have had time to interview Grace, that she's made time in her busy schedule, because she's got a lot of projects on the go. This woman is that we're I think that's why we love each other so much. We have so much in common, and we have so many things that we want to do while this clock is ticking in life. And we're both life lovers and learners, I think, too. And we are always eager to learn new things and
truth
work together.
seekers. Yeah.
And something so important to me, I just want to say quickly, is this women coming together in a non-competitive environment and supporting each other. And I'm just really big on that. And if you'd like to partake in the podcast, please get a hold of me. And I just really love the fact that we can support each other, because that is the significant truth I want to bring forward, is the sharing and loving and connection and supporting of each other, and taking away of the tearing down and the jealousy and the competitiveness, and bringing on the working together and journeying together. So thanks so much for being here, Grace. I really appreciated having you.
Thank you.
Any final words?
My final word would be be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself.
You heard it from her. Be true to yourself, ladies. Okay, love ya. Talk to you soon. Bye.